I'm Jerica, Daybreak Stitcher, here on YouTube and Instagram. This is my channel about cross stitch. I do primarily cross stitch. I have been dabbling in a little bit of knitting over the last year, and for since the summer I've been doing a lot of gardening and food preserving. But today I think I'm mostly going to focus on cross stitch because that is my joy. That is my biggest joy, and I've been doing a lot more of it lately than usual. So I usually am in a different location where I try to have some kind of cross stitch around me, but my lighting in my house isn't the greatest, and today it's overcast, so it's a little bit brighter. I'm going to try not to be distracted too much by the toys in the back. I could have cleaned up, but why? Why? So I don't normally on my channel, if you are new, welcome. I typically don't follow any notes because I'm disorganized like that. I try to keep focused on, the things at hand as best as I can. But I do show you what I've been working on. But just to do a quick catch up, it's been a little over 2 weeks since my last video. For my returning viewers, hello, how you doing? How you been? And for new ones, please, you're always welcome to join in. If you have any questions about anything that I show you, I'm more than happy to respond to anything that you have in the notes, especially if it's something that you are currently stitching on, or you want to know what fabric I'm using. I can certainly lead you the way. Yeah. So so it's been like a little over 2 weeks. So what has happened? I wish I had a calendar nearby, but I know we had, I'm looking back at my calendar in my kitchen, but I know we had Halloween. That was fun. I live in an area where a lot of people come out here, and so I haven't seen that this year was too traumatizing. Last year we had it felt like at least 20,000 people in our neighborhood. The streets were loaded. There were hordes of people. This year didn't feel too bad, but there was still a lot of people here. And my neighbors, they go all out, so we don't really have to go all out on our decorations. We have a candy chute because we have a lot of steps in the front of our house, so we have a candy chute, and I just pour the candy down the chute, so we don't even have to talk too closely to each other. So Halloween was great. My son dressed up as a fireman, and he loves it. He likes first responders. Sometimes the noise is a little frightening for my youngest son, but I think this year he's embraced it because now he got to sit in a fire truck this year. So that was Halloween. Then we had elections. I think there was bad weather, and the end of October we have a lot of birthdays for my kids, because I have 6 kids, and they range from 30 down to 3. And so the older ones, I have 2 that's birthdays are in October. So, and then my dad's and my husband's birthday is in October. So that's it's a lot of birthdays in October. So it seems like it goes by really fast. And then in October I went and met with some friends up at Stitchery Express. Cindy, who owns Stitchery Express, has every Saturday a sit and stitch in her shop. Listen, but we're gonna keep going. I think that's for the most I can think of for October. November, it's my birthday, and Gem stitching? You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. Both of our birthdays are in the same month, and so that was really exciting because I'm getting to know like naturally more people whose birthdays are closer to mine. So I feel like us Scorpios are we're really connected on a better, deeper level, you know? So my birthday came and gone. It was amazing. It was probably my best birthday ever. Like I'm usually pretty low key with my birthday because it's never really been a big deal. But this year felt like it was really nice. It was really nice. So my neighbors like came together and they got me some really cool, like a plant. It was so pretty and it's still alive and I don't have to water it. What? So I'm happy about that. The frost came and it came. It's still here. I don't like cold, and it's here. But I got my garlic out before Halloween, so it is planted. This is my first year trying to plant garlic. What else? So we're moving up. So I joined the next Sal for 2025, put a bird on it Sal, and I changed my colors again. No, I just changed them the once, and I think I showed them. So I'm getting really excited seeing all the people that are joining in and all the sets and kits that they put together for it. And I was so tempted. I was so tempted to start it, but I held it together. It was okay. We kept it together. I will wait. December is almost here, and then I have like 15 days, and it's gonna be great. I'm joining the Zooms, and I'm excited about it. I did go to Sundown Stitchers here in Utah. It's over in Gardner Village, and they get together typically on the first Friday of each month, but this year, coincidentally, it was the second Saturday of this month, which landed right on my birthday. So for my birthday, I got to be around all of my closest stitchy friends, and I got to stitch until like 11 o'clock at night. It's the little things, man, are so exciting. So that's the catch up. I think if I've forgotten anything, I'm sorry. I know there's been a lot of like stressful things happening with elections, with weather, with, you know, religion, all the things, and I try to really limit how much I can take of that, because you know, I'm trying to protect my peace, you know, and I think everyone is entitled to do that. But I do think about everyone who's going through it, and I think about I get inspired by people who find new ways of coping, and I think that's where this new year for myself is going to be, is finding more and new ways and learning from people who find cool ways to cope with stress and worry and fear, because I think most of it's also fear. But I digress. This is why I stitch. So what I'm going to show you today is what I've been working on. I'm still debating on if I want to do a WIP parade. I don't always have a lot of time. This is my youngest. This is his nap time, so I have a very short window to get prepared, because if I bring everything up and like put it all in one place, I'm afraid he's gonna mess with it. And if you've seen a couple videos ago, we can't do that. I can't go through that again. Okay? So it's debate. I think it might take a whole family effort in order to do a WIP parade. So I still have until like December-ish to figure that out. Yeah. So I'll just show you what I've been working on since the beginning, because it's already been 9 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay, let's move into it. All right, so I have my little basket over here, as you can see. This is Saga. I'm not going to show it because I haven't worked on it like at all since like the summer. So it's still the same as it was the last time I showed it. This one is another Modern Folk. This was the 2024 Sal. I have not picked it up since January. So we're not going to show those, but I'm going to show you what I've actually picked up. since in the last 2 weeks. So this is what I've worked on in the last 2 weeks. I'm going to show a cover picture of this because this is a PDF of an ink circles design that I started with my friend Michelle Knotted Owl. And I believe Shiloh X Stitch MD actually started it too. And so I think it's something circles, but I'll put a cover picture of it here. And this is as far as I've gotten. What I did is I stitched this part here and I started this part here. This is a, that's a better picture color. So this is a 40 count fabric by Xjude Designs. This fabric here, it's a 40 count linen. I'll probably put the information on it too because I forget the color, the name of it. But I'm using some gifted Silks for You floss from my friend Crystal that she got from some hanks and divided them up for us earlier this year. And I really wanted to know what this color would stitch up to look like. And if you are ever curious about those colors, that's what it looks like. And I kind of do mine, I don't do full crosses, I kind of go up and down half stitches and then come back down for the second, so it kind of gives you that stripy look. But I was trying a different way with this side, so you can kind of play around with it and it'll give you a different look. But yeah, I only worked on this for maybe like 2 or 3 days, and then I got tired. I got tired. We're gonna I think once I see other people like stitching it, so if you're stitching anything that I show you here, please send me a request or follow me on Instagram. It's still Daybreak Stitcher, and I'd love to see your progress. It'll probably encourage me to stitch a few more days when I pull this out because it's very fun and I can't wait to have it completed, so that way I can find a good frame for it. So my next one, I think I showed this and I don't think I've stitched on this. This is my this is Modern Folk Embroidery Love Thy Neighbor that I started because I seen people who were at Stitch North in Canada start it earlier this year, and so I had to jump on board. I did pick it up to try to finish this motif, but I didn't actually do it. But so I did touch it actually. I put all the floss on a ring, so now it's a lot more organized. So the colors that are still folded are the ones that I haven't pulled out to use yet, but all these other ones I've actually used in the project already. So does knitting up your WIPs count as working on your WIPs? That is another question I would like to hear your opinions on. It might be a debate, but I'm open to it. Let's do it. Another thing that I did have a finish, but I'll show you that later. There was, so there are a small number of designers that I kind of went overboard with their designs, but it's because they're that good. I could not just leave them alone. So this is one of them. It is a Modern Folk Embroidery. He came out with this design just like, what, last week I think. It's called, what is it, a cozy Christmas tree? Cozy Christmas cottage? Yes. So I wanted to start using some of the fabric that I got from a subscription of a Fabric of the Month from Xjude Designs. I signed up for her Brights, and you can sign up for her Brights on Etsy. Is how I found it. So this was one of the Brights, which isn't exactly a Bright, but it was part of the Brights, and I realized that I don't really stitch too many things on bright fabric, so I pulled it out. And this is Pine It's a 40 count XG Designs, and this is Cozy Cottage Christmas by Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. I'm using a Blanc, DMC Blanc for the design. I'm gonna just use one color, and it's so cute. Like, it barely fits in here. I really am overkilling it with my Nurge hoop, but I do like how pretty it is. The color is a nice pine colored green. So that's as far as I got. It was just one day that I worked on this because it's so tiny, and it's just one color, so you don't really have to think too much. But you know, it's one of those things where it's like I stitch with long strands and I have to finish the strand, and then before you know it, you're really deep in it. So I signed up to stitch with Miss Candy 614 Stitcher, and I jumped the gun. But I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna stitch on this until she gets her fabric. That's what we're waiting on. And then she'll give me the go, and then we're gonna stitch it together. And if you want to, if it's you can go to Modern Folk Embroidery's website, Jacob's, and you can download the PDF and you can join in. I think this is small enough to be like a little flat fold ornament. Maybe I'm gonna hang it on my tree somewhere or something. I don't know. It might be a gift, who knows. But this is my Christmas stitching for you know, I stitched on it for just like a day and got that done. Then, of course, because I had to wait on finishing that, my my other designer, not mine, but another designer that I love all of her work, is Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates. And so she had released some Christmas designs I think it was last year in Christmas. I think it was last Christmas she had released these. And this design is called Peace Christmas Candles. And this is what it looks like. And I like it. First off, I'm a yellow person. I love gold. And so to see like how much gold is in here is really, really nice, because it's not like your typical like new age Christmas colors. It's kind of like a vintage Christmas color, but it's got way more gold in there than like the red and green. So I really, really like it. And I really like this candle right here. I feel like that's super Jan Hicksy. I don't know if she's gonna like that, but I really like it. So I started this one a couple of days ago. Actually, I think I started it on Friday. And so I have a friend, her name is Nitya. Hers is Daybreak Stitchery, and I'm Daybreak Stitcher. And coincidentally, like I started watching her channel last year sometime because she was talking about like colorism or color theory, and how, you know, colors really speak to her when she stitches, and how she uses like completely different colors than what, you know, normally like not normal people do, but not typical because that's a bad word too, but like we're gonna say commonly used colors. She likes to go beyond that. So she had mentioned how, and this stuck with me because I had stitched something else a couple of years ago using her same method. So maybe this was like 2 years ago that I seen this video of hers. Anyway, so basically what she was saying is that when she thinks of winter, she doesn't think of blue colors, like blue fabrics. If anything, like if you, especially in November, in the beginning of December, like the colors are not quite blue, they're more like a purple. And so for her, like when she thinks of like winter, the fabrics that she sees are more on the purple color. So I took that and I'm going with it. And so this is where I am. So this is a 40 count linen from XG Design and her brights. It's called Dawn. So it's a little bit more bolder in color than what it's showing up. It's a little softer from what I'm seeing, at least. And so, and I don't have like a little paper to put behind it to make it look better. It's just what it is. And so this is Peace Christmas Candles by Jan Hicks. This is as far as I got. I started doing all the little stars that are around the design. And I started with the, I'm left-handed, so I kind of stitch better. My stitches look neater when I stitch from the right to the left on my fabric. So I'm noticing that if I start in the bottom right corner, then I'm stitching, you know, to the left, and it makes my stitches look neater. So that's why I started this one with this candle, the candle of the forest, right? But yay! Yeah, this is 40 Count Dawn by X Jude Design, because my details are right here. And the colors that I'm using are not called for. It's a Floss from Stash. This is I don't even know what this silk is called, but this is the brown that's going to be in it that I haven't used yet. And this is the gold that is, these colors, like this yellow is different. This one's more of a bronzy gold and this one's more of a yellow gold. So I used this yellow for the inside of the candle. And then my, oh, it's under here. It's all, you know, it's a work, you know, it's working now, so everything's a mess. So here's the green that I used. It's the same company. It's the green in here. And then I'm using Roxy Floss for the yellows because I have a really good yellow color set from her. Roxy Floss, this one is called Butterscotch, this yellow here, and I'm using that for most of the gold in here because it seems like they're the same color, but this one's slightly golder, bronzer. And then I have some silk red floss that I pulled from Stash that I'm using for the red. So yeah, it's 5 colors that this calls. I think this pattern calls for 5 colors. Yeah, so that's brown, green, red, and 2 gold like yellows, and then you're good to go. And it's not too big. Like, it's not big, it's not small. I think it's about like 5,500 stitches total. So this would be a good thing if you wanted to start it now. It only take a couple weeks maybe or less, and you could have it ready for Christmas, because I think I'm gonna actually just find a simple little frame to put it in until I decide what I want to commit to as far as like fully finishing it. But yeah, so I started this one on Friday. This is as far as I got. What else was there? I do have a finish. Okay, let me see if I can find it in the mix of this madness. Okay, so I do have a finish. I did have another finish, but I don't think I have it here anymore. I think I have it in another, oh, okay. Okay, yeah, okay. They are folded, they're not ironed or anything, but once I figure out what I'm going to do with them, which I think is, I'm probably going to take them to the framers. Out here, if I go a little north to Ogden, there's a framer out there called Rensel's Studios, and they are fantastic with finding the great, like a perfect frame for your finish. So it's when it comes to like the designs that have a lot of color that I don't really know how to pair up, I take them to Rensel's. So this is called, this finish here, shaking my head. Okay, so this finish right here is from Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates. This is Arabesque. And as soon as I seen this, I got it because I'm a huge fan of monochrome stitching. And I have this floss. I think it's Silks for You PR 204. I think I already put it away because, you know, you finish something and you just want to hurry and put it away. So this is Arabesque and it's completely finished and I'm super in love with it. Oh my goodness. This was so nice. Like, do you see what is happening with these colors? They are coming together. Look at it. Arabesque. If you're stitching it, you're not done with it, you're about to be in for a treat. So this is 40 count. I think this linen is 40 count flax linen. No, it's 46 count. 46 count flax linen. So I think it's pretty big for it to be on 46 count. So if you're on if you're stitching it on a lower count, it's gonna be a lot, but this was really, really nice. And then you have this, so I'm not sure how to pair up this frame and I don't want to go with a basic black or white. So I'm taking it to Rensselaers, y'all. Taking it to Rensselaers. It's all finished. Got that done. There were a few things that I had started last year and never got around to finish them, even though they were really close to being finished. Like, they were 80% done. So for some reason I got the finishing fever and decided to just start finishing all the things that were really close to being finished that I should have finished last year. But, you know, the squirrel got me. So here's another one that I started last year with, there were so many people. There was Nest of Petals and Shiloh X Stitch MD. Oh, there were so many people. So this is called Every Opening Flower. And the designer is With Thy Needle and Thread. And I pulled floss from Stash, so mine looks a little different than others, and I need to iron it, so I'll show you a better picture once it's ironed. But it's all done. Look at my bird. What? It was so fun to stitch that bird. But it's all finished. Floss from Stash. It was a mix between Weeks Dye Works, Victorian Motto, and I want to say there was some Roxy floss in here too. But we got it all done. There are some little tiny motifs that are there to just fill in the spaces. I felt like it looked great without them, so I didn't add them in there. I just omitted those. But it's all finished. All finished. So this is probably, I'm debating. I think I might be able to find a frame for this. So I'm not 100% ready to take this to Rensselaers, but I think I might be able to find an easy frame for it. So I got that one finished, and I don't think I have any more finishes since then. No, I don't think but there's some other things that I wanted to bring up because, my new starts. Okay, so I have some more new starts since the last 2 weeks. So still more groups of my friends enabling me with all the things. Makes it easier for me to jump on board with things when I have it already kind of in my stash, or either if I have the pattern already. So there's not really that much that I have to wait for. So this was another new start. It is Autumn Quakers by Rosewood Manor. This is my working copy. And clearly I don't know how to digitalize things yet, but we're gonna figure it out. But so this is Autumn Quaker. And typically this is stitched on 28 count with Voldani threads. But I like higher counts, and I like stitching with one thread. I just like the way it lays, you know? And I also like the benefit of it being on a normal sized piece of fabric. So this is where I've gotten. This is a 40 count fox and rabbit linen. I think I want to say that it's what is it called? They came out with it, I think, in market earlier this year. Oh, it's not coming to me, but I'll mark it somewhere. But here's my start. I worked on it a couple days. I'm once again pulling floss from stash. Evertote in Canada, they have their own floss conversion, and I do actually have a 36 count blue fabric and their floss pack for the Winter Quakers by Rosewood Manor. So I'll be ready for that one, I think. We'll see. But at least that one's already kitted up and ready to go. I have a friend, Miss Candy 614 Stitcher, that actually stitches in each season for each of the seasonal Quakers, the spring and the summer and fall and all that. So I'm debating on if I want to do that. I don't know. I have a lot of WIPs, so I don't know yet. We'll see. Maybe next year. I don't know. But so I pulled floss from stash, and I wanted to go with a slightly brighter palette. The only color I think that is a little too bright, but I'm okay with it, is this floss here. Is a lot hotter than the called for. The one called for is a way more prim and muted. But I was able to get this much stitched in a few days, so it's a good start. I think there's like another motif. Yeah, there's another motif right here, so the whole thing should fit in the width of this Nerge hoop. And then I might have too big of a fabric. I think it might only come down to about here on this 40 count. So I'm kind of tempted to stitch at least another one of these Quakers on a 40 count, so that way I can maybe have two on the same size, two seasons of the same size, and then have two seasons in a 36 count. We'll see. But this is as far as I got using floss from stash for Autumn Quakers by Rosewood Manor. I had just finished the Bake Me a Quaker style by Rosewood Manor, and I think that might have been my first Rosewood Manor as well, I think. So now I'm gonna always keep it in my mind to have at least one Rosewood Manor going no matter what. You think that's safe? Is that safe? So, let's see. I think that might be everything. So what I have to do, which is no fun when we are talking about stitching, when you say something that you have to do. So, but what I have to do is I have to really work on crinkles. My little house needlework. I've started this I think I've started this like 4 or 5 times since I began stitching, even learning how to stitch in 2021. So this one I've had to start over. So I settled on the perfect fabric count, and That is a 46 count. I think this is 46 count cappuccino. That's the back. Okay. 46 count cappuccino. My friend Robin from, she works over at Pine Needles over in Gardner Village. We have made an agreement to pull this out once a week for an hour until it's done. And I honestly thought that I was done with this part, but no, I have this much to do until it's done. I'm a little disappointed that that's not done yet, but this just means I have to pull it out. I'm using nothing called for. It's floss. Floss from Stash, but I like it because I don't always like my stuff to look like exactly like everyone else's, and it would just be really cool to have a side-by-side picture of this on 46 count and hers that she's stitching on 30 count. So I want to get it done, and then she's using the called for floss, so I kind of really want to get that comparison. And she's not too far ahead of me, but she's certainly way more committed than I am to getting it done. So, and I think once I get the roof done, then everything else after that, like an hour a week, maybe even 3, should get that part done a lot faster. It's just the roof. And it's just in the spirit of trying to pick it up. So I'm holding it in my hand. I'm going to put it over here next to the things that I've been touching. And we're going to make this happen. Yes. So, another thing. Wait a minute. So we're moving into, okay. So I'm on a lot of, not a lot, but I'm in a few Facebook stitchy groups. And I think it was Sunshine Stitchers Facebook group where someone had asked about using hanks of floss, because I get a lot of my hanks from Silks For You, and they're based in Australia, and her silks are super soft and they're super vibrant and they're very unique. The whole experience alone is pretty amazing, and I got into it deep, and I love it. I'm mad about it. So I wanted to, she was asking, and if anyone's curious about hanks, it was a couple of years ago, because I haven't been stitching like for too many years. What is it, 3? Yeah, 3 years. And so I watched a lot of YouTube, and when I got my first hank, I didn't know how to handle it at all either. And I watched this woman who no longer makes YouTube videos. You know, her whole video was just showing you all of her Silks For You stuff, and oh, that pulled me in. And so she also explained like how to use it, how to cut it, or at least how she does, because there's a whole array. There's no one way to do anything. So what I did was I pulled out one of my bins of silks, and I got this bin from Hobby Lobby. I think they come in as a 3, but they're stackable, so you can get as many as you want. So here's one that I have that I hold all my silks in, and so I can remember the names. I keep the bags with most of them, but I did sign up for their Christmas advents. So there are some skeins in here, and there's some hanks that don't have numbers or anything, so they're kind of a mystery. But I also got into Mrs. Sada's silks, and so I have some of hers in here. I don't keep them separate. And I think I have one color and cotton hank, because I think it was a misdye or something, and I wanted to try that too. So, oh, there's also Yamir Almond M&M. I'm going to open this up. Okay. So Yamir Almond M&M, I'm not sure if she's still doing it, but I did buy one of her hanks in this color here. What is it called? Sangria. So let me pull this off here. So absolutely gorgeous color, right? But it is so hard to find a fabric that that would go with, because it varies. You have your grays, you have your whites, you have your creams, you have your pinks. The only thing that it doesn't have in here is blue. Sometimes your blue conflicts with these other colors, like this black and or charcoal, and then like you're getting into this gray color here. So I haven't been able to be successful with finding a fabric that this would be able to shine on, but I'm not giving up hope. I have a friend that's using it on her to stitch a very big project on. So I guess whenever I have the WIP space, I will copy whatever she's doing, maybe get like some kind of brown or something. But let me start with just talking about Silks for You. So Silks for You hanks, they come in these bags that have their number, you know, handwritten on the bag. And so they're all kind of bound up like this. And so basically what I learned, because I take as much as I would need, one skein is about the equivalent, so one skein is about the equivalent of anywhere from 28 to 32 skeins versus, yeah. But it's all in one thing. So when you get them, you can pull them apart and you have like a big loop, okay? So I'm gonna use this one that I have here. So take it out the bag and you have it in this really large loop, okay? And they have like these little ties in multiple spots around it, so that way it doesn't get all like disheveled while you're like petting it and oohing and awing over all the colors and all the possibilities, right? So the question was, how do you use this? And so when you have it like this, you can find any part of this. I typically, well, at first I started where it transitioned, but I realized lately that I really don't like it, because then it's hard for you to continue on. So I kind of go in the middle of a color. So like I would go like about here, and so right about here, and then I would do the big cut, and I would cut the whole thing, okay? And so as you're cutting off these little ties, you'll just have one long hanging hank. So it will look like this, okay? So when I'm using it, because it's silk, it's very soft and it's very easy to pull it apart. So you would just take how much ever you want. I usually, depending on the size of whatever it is that I'm using, like for this Jen Hicks one, this is the red that I'm using for it. And I knew that it wasn't gonna be big, so I just took off like 2 or 3 strands. So, you know, you take off 2 or 3 strands and you just kind of shake and they come apart. But if you're doing like, you know, a huge monochrome piece where it calls for like 2.5 skeins, then, you know, I would just pull off the equivalent of that. And you just shake it, shake, 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 and it'll just easily come apart. So what you would do with the rest of this hank, after it's, you know, you've taken from it, it's cut, is that you would take it with your finger and you would twist it back up into a hank. So you would just keep on twisting it, and then you would let it twist back up and you pull it through the top part, and then you can either put it back in the bag that it came in or just however you want it. You can go by color on feel on you know, whatever you're stitching. So the skein that you're left with, you can put that on a floss drop or bobbinate it, however you use your working floss, right? I tried to explain that to someone on the messages, and I guess it was confusing, because, you know, it's okay. But whenever you have like, it was someone who actually, I watched their video and that's how I learned. And then if you want to pull it out and you just want to know how to put it back together, you know, you do the same thing where you twist it back up and bring it through the hole, and you have your hank again, and then you can put it back in the bag, and you can make it tight or not. Some people actually have put them, like once they cut them, they put them on like big huge rings so they can pull from them as they please. I think I have too many to even know how to do that. But if you have skeins, like some people actually put them, like break up all the skeins into the 28 or 32 individual skeins, so that way they can just grab a whole skein whenever they're ready to use it, and it's already done and done. So that's how I handle my silks. I've noticed that depending on where you get your silks from, they can have a different feel and texture, but deep down inside, I think that I have not met a silk that I have not liked. I think if I wanted to be super picky, I kind of I struggle with NPI's black. What is that, 993? I think it's 993 in NPI, correct me if I'm wrong. But I struggle with that one, but I think that it's a user error. I think I might need some wax or something, because sometimes it's a little more fuzzier than I prefer, and I kind of like the defined X, you know. But just to show you how to manage your hanks, let me know if you have any more questions when it comes to silks, because I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so haul. What I've gotten is not really that much of anything. I did get a pattern here. My friend EJ of Sunshine Stitchers and Miss Candy 614 Stitcher have started this for EJ's birthday last year. Let me take this out of here. This is called And Be Kind to One Another. There you go. And I really loved it. They started up here, and I think the design is stitched on, I don't even know. I don't even know what it's stitched on. Let me see really quick, because now I'm curious. It's stitched on, like I think it's stitched on a higher count. It doesn't really even say in here. Oh, 36 count. So it's stitched on 36 count vintage country mocha linen. I'm gonna stitch it on a 46 count. So mine should fit on a fat quarter. But I believe this should actually fit on a fat quarter, even if you are around 30, 28 count, maybe even a 32, for sure a 32 count, it'll fit with your space margins. But I love this so much. So it's And Be Kind to One Another. It's by Needleworks Press, and it's a long, narrow design. It's a companion piece to this one, and I don't have this one. One of my friends does, but it's a companion sampler to Be Exceedingly Diligent. So my friend, I was watching her this morning, Shiloh from X Stitch MD, and she just got this design, and I believe she actually has a companion piece as well. So I don't know when she's going to start this, but I'm thinking about starting it maybe in March. Maybe. For some reason, it's giving me like refreshing, clean spring vibes. Even though the colors are more prim, I still like Be Kind to One Another. It kind of makes me feel like it's a new beginning, you know? And not new year beginning, but like spring, new coming. You know what I mean? In my mind, I can go there. So I don't know. I really love it. Like, look at the little squirrels. Look at the doves in there hiding. I love this font that's in here. It's so cute. So, of course, I had to kit it up. And I'm using a 46 count Soul Tash by Cedar River Linen. And I'm using Floss from Stash MPI silks. And I think there's one that's a Sol d'Alger. Yeah, there's one Sol d'Alger. This one right here is a Sol d'Alger. And then I have my MPIs. So I'm going to go with this colors. I haven't prepped them yet, so I'm going to wait until I get a little bit closer. I might have some free, what is it called? Flash drops. I mean, I know I have some, but at least my WIPs will go down a little bit. And, it won't feel so distracting. I'm gonna put this away now. So if you have this, I was thinking about starting it in March. If you've already started it, I'd love to see your progress. Yeah, I think that's okay. So you wanna hear something really funny? This is another note. Something really funny that happened late last night. I was over here just minding my business and stitching away, having a great old time, and my husband comes upstairs because we have a basement, like a living room in our basement, and my craft room is down there. So my husband comes up and he's like, "Hey, what's that, didn't you lose a design?" If you guys don't know, there's been a whole saga about this 1 dozen Quakers, I swear. But guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? You guys, let me tell you. Here we go again. It never ends. But you know what? I'm thinking about stitching it. I kind of want to finish it. I've already, you know, gotten this far. And for those of you who are new, I thought I lost this. I searched my house from end to end. It was nowhere. I thought I left it back east somewhere. It's been here. And so I started it, and then I have a 3-year-old, and he got to it. So I had to start it again. And I finished it. And I was like, you know what? But there's still a part of me that wonders, like, if I actually do find it, I think I might want to finish it. Like, because I loved my original colors. Like, it's still coming up more of a gray, but this is like a really mauve purple. And I love these Silks For You colors. They're so nice and light. And I've already gotten this far. I love this fabric. This is number 12 Stitch Co. It's 40 count. It's called Steely Nights. Like, it's such a dark, weird color that I feel like, out of respect, I need to finish this. But I won't be stitching it out of rage like I did the 3rd time. So this will probably take me some time. But if you guys could see like these colors in person, like, they're so nice. It's a very contrasting fabric to floss, you know what I mean? So anyway, so it's here. It's been here the whole time, stressing me out. And I have the floss and everything, and he said that it was on his comic book shelf. But it's okay. My baby's home. So I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna take them both into the framer and try to find a companion framing piece for both of them, because I think that would be awesome. I think that would be awesome. So my plans for the rest of this month, I think, is to finish the Christmas Cottage, or Christmas Candles by Jan Hicks. 6-piece Christmas candles by Jan Hicks, that Christmas one, to finish the Cozy Christmas Cottage from Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. And I plan to finish those, you know, within the next 2 weeks. And then to pull out Kringles to do some more Christmas stitching on that one. I don't have any new starts planned as of yet. I think it's just the Put a Bird on It sale that starts December 15th. And I think that might be everything. I can't see anything right now, so maybe I might, you know, that might be all of my cross-stitching stuff. But my oldest daughter has been knitting like crazy, so she got me to pull out my knitting stuff. This was a cowl that I had knitted last year. I finished it last year. I can't even find it right now. Oh, here it is. Here's my cowl. And it was my first ever knit project, so it doesn't have a thing, or, you know, it's just here. But I like this yarn color because it's really pretty. But I still had like a whole bunch of this. So I've been knitting a scarf just to use it up, and then whenever I want to, I'm over here making messes. So if I ever wanted to not wear a cowl and I just wanted to throw something on really quick, then I have like here we go. So now we have my scarf. Or if I wanted to be really cute and like me and my husband wanted to like twin up, then you think he'll wear it? He seems pretty chill. He's pretty cool. So, but yeah, so I pulled out this, and my one friend, Emmy, Mission Stitch, has been knitting like crazy, making socks, and I can't figure that out yet because my fingers can't do little things. But maybe it's because of confidence, you know what I mean? Because I can't figure out how to read the knitting patterns like, you know, you do cross stitch patterns. So it's that, whatever. But what I did want to do is that I got yarn. Like, I was really excited about, you know, knitting things, and my neighbor taught me how to knit. So I wanted to, and I think like there's so many people out there that knit. Like Jan Hicks knits so many great things, and my friend Michelle Knotted Owl, oh, she can knit. Like, it's amazing. Shiloh X Stitch MD, she knits like crazy. Like, all my friends, they all knit and all this cool stuff. And I want to knit. So I got some yarn, and my friend Emmy came over and she put it into a cake. Look! So I have this color here, and I'm thinking, because it's not like a ton and it's pretty bulky, so maybe like a lap throw or something. I don't know. But I was thinking about just starting something with these. I have one more color of this, so it's just 2 of these and 1 of these. And I was thinking about just knitting and see how much it'll come up to, and then just being happy with that. So I'm ready to do some stuff. I'm ready to do some stuff. We'll see. We'll see. But I think that's all I have for today. I think I'm already approaching almost like, you know, an hour. And I know this is fun. I like the excitement of showing you all the things. But my son is going to be waking up soon. But this has been really fun. I am going to the Jingle Ball. So if you're there, I have not signed up for any classes because I don't like to behave that well and finish stuff on time. So I don't know if I'm going to join anything last minute, but I know I will be in the chat rooms, and I will be watching a lot of the designer Q&As because that was super fun. I went last year, and so I'm going again this year. As far as any things, I have a, excuse me, I have a Evertote. I'm ready. I have the Evertote Advent, Christmas Advent. I missed it last year and I regretted it. I did get it the year before that, but I didn't understand what was going on yet at that time. But I got it now. So I got my Christmas Advent from Evertote. I'm waiting for my Silks For You Advent from Silks For You. And going to the Jingle Ball. And I'm already stitching Christmas stuff in November. And it's little things that I'll easily be able to get done with. And then it's crinkles. So I'm super excited. I think the next video I'll have will probably be after the Jingle Ball, so I'll be able to do a little recap on that. Other than that, it's been great. I hope that you all enjoyed what you see. Please, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. My descriptions are, you know, hit or miss sometimes, depending on if a kid, you know, a 3-year-old's trying to take my phone off me while I'm trying to customize and edit. But other than that, you guys, I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all finding your joy, and I hope you're all protecting your peace. And if you have any little advice or things that you've learned along the way that you love to share, please leave them in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, and I will follow you back. Alrighty. Well, you all happy stitching, and have a great day. Bye.